Okay, well, looks like Hurricane Debbie's through with us. We got a tremendous amount of rain. It stalled right over Lake City, Florida, and went down to about 2 or 3 miles an hour. And we were on the wet side of it. So we got dumped, a whole bunch of rain dumped on Lake City. And this surrounding area here is really flooded right now. So you got to zigzag your way around to find your way into town or wherever you're going, because a lot of the roads are underwater now and they haven't pumped the water out of the roads yet. So we got a bunch of water. I took a 5-gallon bucket and emptied it and put it out in the middle of the yard Sunday afternoon. And by Monday at noon, it was full of water. That's 20 inches of water in a 5-gallon bucket. And then it kept raining all Monday afternoon. So we got over 20 inches of rain. I don't know how much. I wasn't going to go out there and get soaked to dump the bucket. But it rained all Monday afternoon, and the bucket just kept overflowing. So we're going to continue on in our Father's Word. We got power now, and we got the internet back. So we can continue on in our Father's Word. This is Exodus 24, verse 11. And upon the nobles of the children of Israel he laid not his hand. Also they saw God, and they did eat and drink. And the Lord said unto Moses, Come up to me into the mount, and be there. And I will give thee tables of stone, and the law and the commandments which I have written, that thou mayest teach them. And Moses rose up, and his minister Joshua, and Moses went up to the mount of God. And he said unto the elders, Tarry ye here for us until we come again unto you. And behold, Aaron and Hur are with you. If any man have any matters to do, let him come unto them. And Moses went up into the mount, and a cloud covered the mount. And the glory of the Lord abode upon Mount Sinai. And the cloud covered it 6 days. And the 7th day he called unto Moses out of the midst of the cloud. And in the sight of the glory of the Lord was like a devouring fire on the top of the mount, in the eyes of the children of Israel. And Moses went into the midst of the cloud, and gat him up into the mount. And Moses was in the mount 40 days and 40 nights. 40 means probation. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speaking unto the children of Israel, that they bring me an offering. Of every man that giveth it willingly with his heart, ye shall take my offering. And this is the offering which ye shall take of them: gold and silver and brass, and blue and purple and scarlet, and fine linen and goat's hair, and ram skin dyed red, and the badger skins and shittim wood, oil for the light, spices for anointing oil, and for sweet incense, onyx stones and stones to be set in the ephod, and in the breastplate. And let them make me a sanctuary, that I may dwell among them, according to all that I show ye, after the pattern of the tabernacle, and the pattern of all the instruments thereof, even so shall ye make it. And they shall make an ark of shittim wood. 2 cubits and a half shall be the length thereof, and a cubit and a half the breadth thereof, and a cubit and a half the height thereof. And thou shalt overlay it with pure gold. Within and without shalt thou overlay. Overlay it, and shall make upon it a crown of gold around about. And thou shalt cast 4 rings of gold for it, and put them in the 4 corners thereof. And 2 rings shall be on the one side of it, and 2 rings on the other side of it. And thou shalt make staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold. And thou shalt put the staves into the rings by the sides of the ark may be borne with them. The staves shall be in the rings of the ark, and they shall not be taken from it. And thou shalt put into the ark the testimony which I give thee. Now, if you read Revelation 11, it tells you where the Ark of the Covenant is. John the Divine was taken up into heaven and shown end-of-day prophecies. And up there in heaven, he saw the Ark of the Testimony, God's Ark. See, Satan wants to sit on God's mercy seat. He wanted to take over God's job. And so there was a great rebellion 14,000 years ago. Satan's rebellion. The Katabole, spelled Katabole. God came back to earth and found a third of his children following Satan. Satan was the protecting cherubim. The cherubim that's on the end of the mercy seat to protect the mercy seat. But Satan got the big head and he wants to sit on the mercy seat and take God's place. And thou shalt put into the ark the testimony which I will give thee. And thou shalt make a mercy seat of pure gold. 2 cubits and a half shall be the length thereof, and a cubit and a half the breadth thereof. And thou shalt make 2 cherubims of gold of beaten work, shalt thou make them, in the 2 ends of the mercy seat. And make 1 cherubim on the one end, and the other cherub on the other end. Even of the mercy seat shall ye make the cherubims on the 2 ends thereof. And the cherubim shall stretch forth their wings on high. See, Satan's got wings, covering the mercy seat with their wings. And their faces shall look one to another. Toward the mercy seat shall the faces of the cherubims be. And thou shalt put the mercy seat above upon the ark, and in the ark thou shalt put the testimony that I shall give thee. And there I will meet thee, and I will commune with thee from above the mercy seat, from between the 2 cherubims which are upon the ark of the testimony, of all things which I give thee in commandment unto the children of Israel. Thou shalt also make a table of shittim wood. 2 cubits shall be the length thereof, and a cubit the breadth thereof, and a cubit and a half the height thereof. And thou shalt overlay it with pure gold, and make thereto a crown of gold round about. And thou shalt make it into a border of a hand breadth round about, and thou shalt make a golden crown to the border thereof round about. And then thou shalt make it for 4 rings of gold, and put the rings in the 4 corners that are on the 4 feet thereof. Over against the border shall the rings be for places of the staves to bear the table. And thou shalt make the staves of shittim wood, and overlay them gold, that the table may be borne with them. And thou shalt make the dishes thereof, and spoons thereof, and covers thereof, and bowls thereof, to cover withal. Of pure gold shalt thou make them. And thou shalt set upon the table showbread before me always. And thou shalt make a candlestick of pure gold. Of beaten work shall the candlestick be made. His shaft and his branches, his bowls, his knops, and his flowers shall be of the same. And 6 branches shall come out the sides of it. 3 branches of the candlestick out of one side, and 3 branches of the candlestick out of the other side. 3 bowls made like unto almonds, with a knop and a flower on one branch. And 3 bowls made like almonds in the other branch, with a knop and a flower, so in the 6 branches that come out of the candlestick. And in the candlestick shall be 4 bowls made like unto almonds, with their knobs and their flowers. And there shall be a knop under 2 branches of the same, and a knop under 2 branches of the same, and a knop under 2 branches of the same, according to the 6 branches that proceedeth out of the candlestick. Their knops and their branches shall be of the same. All it shall be all beaten one work of pure gold.